Hi everybody, I have a new reaction. This time is Simon and Garfunkel. And this song is called The Sound of Silence. Alright, let's check it out. Simon Garfunkel, 1990. Very cool riff. Oh, cool. Cool solo. There are more musicians in the back. Very cool.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. How come you talk with you again? Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted still remains within the sound of silence.
Very cool effect, the two voices.
In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw
The whole band came in.
10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools that I did not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach out to you, but my words like silent raindrops fell.
Very cool.
In the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Very cool. Wow. Yeah. That's that's so cool. Very talented, these guys. So okay, so this is a really old song. This is actually they're playing live. I don't know, in front of I don't know, maybe it's a show or something. I didn't look it up, but anyway, so this band back in the 60s, they came up with this song. Actually, it was Simon, the one who wrote the song, and he says, actually, the story says they didn't hit. It was just him, his guitar, and the other singer. I don't know who Simon is from the two, but I believe it's the one who plays the guitar. And so they released the song, they recorded the song, they released it, and it didn't hit. But there were a few places where it was kind of like, all right, so it's catching up a little bit. But the producer, he thought, okay, this is a very good song. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. So he added drums, electric guitar, and more instruments, and made it more full. And Simon and Garfunkel were not aware of it until pretty much the end. They released the song and everything, and then they find out, oh, and they went on their ways. They actually separated. They ended the band, and they went on with their lives. I think Simon tried to start a new project, and the other guy, Garfunkel, he tried to go back to school and continue studying something else. Anyway, but it's a very interesting story. So they pretty much gave up. So never give up on your dreams. You never know. And eventually they made the right mix, the right production, and everything. And the song caught on fire. It became a #1 hit everywhere. So alright, so let's talk about the meaning of the song now. So Simon says that Simon says sounds like the game, but no, we're talking about Simon from the band. He says that he liked to go to the bathroom, turn off the light, turn on the faucet, and listen to the water going in, and he would start writing his music. He would experiment with his music ideas, and he started to write the song, and that's why he began the song this way. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. So he's actually speaking about the darkness in the bathroom. But of course, if you interpret this song for on anything else, it could mean a million things. Actually, the song is actually very vague. You don't really know what the song is about unless they explain you what the song is about. But it could mean anything to you, which is something different from what the composers wanted it to mean. I guess that's true with almost any song, but especially songs that are very vague with the lyrics. Anyway, so actually the song means this. It means that people do not speak to one another, do not communicate, and all kinds of confusion happen because of that. All kinds of loneliness, all kinds of sadness, all kinds of depression, and that's because, I don't know, people don't have any friends, people don't make any friends, and that's the case also in the present. A very large number of people have 0 friends as adults, and some people even as younger. But yeah, some people never go on a date, let's say on a date, for years and years and years and years, and people feel lonely all the time. People can find someone to love, people can't find somebody to be friends with, and that's pretty much what this song is about. It's about the loneliness and sadness and how people don't communicate. Alright, so, but there's alternative versions of what you could think, but that's what the authors intended it to mean. Okay, so I come to talk to you again, to the darkness, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. but it could also mean something else. For example, this was during the time of the war in Vietnam, so probably think about of a soldier who was wounded, or a soldier who came back. So he is having those nightmares, those dreams of the war in Vietnam. So this is a vision that is softly creeping, it's causing PTSD. Left seats while I was sleeping. So it's in there. She's just having those nightmares, those visions, and the vision that was planted in my brain. So maybe a lot of dead people, dead children, villages who were disseminated or something. This is an alternative understanding of the song, but as I said, could mean something else. It still remains within the sound of silence. So within his head, he's having all these visions, all these thoughts, and that's because of the war. But if you think about it, I don't know, the loneliness. Maybe this person is thinking about other people, how lonely they are, how lonely he is, and the vision of how lonely the future for people is, and so on. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. And the sound of silence, he's just making it clever, a way to say the sound of silence, but. Yeah, he's just saying silence. The sound of silence is nothing, it's just silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. Okay, so he walks alone, nobody there, and the emptiness, the streets, cobblestone, the way, some kind of construction stuff on the floors. Underneath the halo of a street lamp. I turn my collar to the cold and damp. So turn to the other side, I guess. And then she said, my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. So again, if you're thinking about a soldier who survived the war in Vietnam, maybe he is in his dream, or so looking to the other side and there's a bomb dropping, or it could also be like a lightning from the sky, like it's going to rain, but it could be a missile, it could be something else. And if we think about loneliness and not having friends and stuff like that, so just walk alone on the streets by yourself, under the lamp, and turn around and I don't know, stop by the flashlight of a neon light. The neon light could be a business, I don't know, some nightclub or a bar. Split the night. I don't know. It could neon light is something like a bar or something like that. And touch the sound of silence. And touch the sound of silence. I don't know why he chose that, but that's what he's saying. Anyway, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. Yeah, honestly, for me, this song always meant something with war. So maybe he saw 10,000 corpses, one on top of the other, and that's causing him a lot of PTSD. Maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Or if you think about people being lonely, it's like people speaking and nobody's listening. People are just saying things, but nobody's saying something. And songs that died, a lot of people wanted to sing the same thing that this song is about, but they just died. Nobody really spoke them, never shared. So they were never written, or if they were written, so the songs were written, and they were never shared. So, and no one there disturbed the sound of silence. So nobody dared to speak out. Nobody dared to approach the next person and talk to that person and find out that that person is equally lonely. So so that's very likely what he meant. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. So the more silent I am, the more silent you are, the more silent everybody is gonna be. And we're just a society that doesn't speak to one another and doesn't try to understand one another. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. So yeah, so he's trying to teach something with the words of this song. He's trying to reach somebody's heart and tell them, hey, we're not speaking the way we should be speaking to one another. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the sign of silence. So he's saying that all his words, nobody really listened to them. Nobody really cared. Nobody took him seriously. Yeah, so that's it. Let's think about it. As a vet who survived a war, and of course you can imagine it in a different way as well. But this is what one of the interpretations as well. So fools, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grow. So the more we kill, the more we're gonna kill. More people are gonna die, and we're just gonna have this death growing like cancer. Hear my words that I might teach you. So listen to me. I want this war to end. I want everything to stop. Take my arms that I might reach you. And instead of fighting, how about we become friends? Take my arms, and I gonna reach you, but so that we can be friends. I gonna save you instead. I gonna provide you help and support you, and you support me, and we can be friends. By my words, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echo in the wells of silence. And yeah, so nobody heard his words, and they just disappeared. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. Then the sign said, the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. Yeah, so I don't know why he's saying the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. Sounds very interesting. Also think about that he was 21 years old when he wrote this, and he said that it wasn't really supposed to be like a super profound song. He was just whatever he would come up with, whatever he was reading about in school, so he would write that. So okay, so maybe they created a god, and they're worshiping that god, and that god is what? War. That god is what? Being isolated. I don't know. And the sign flushed out its warning, in the words that it was forming. So there was a warning that came out in the form of words. I don't know. That warning was what he's saying in the song, like, "Hey, we need to stop this nonsense. We have to either, like, if you think about of a soldier who survived, okay, we have to stop this war. Or if you think about somebody who is so lonely and depressed, hey, we need to stop this nonsense. We should be talking to one another and making friends and hooking up with one another or whatnot." Then the sign said, the words of the prophets are the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls. So I guess this words right here, they are in quotes. So I guess this is what's written on the walls and tenement halls. It's what's written on the air and all these places. So the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. So I guess yeah. So he's probably saying that these words are the same thing as the words in the song. That message about stop the war, or that message about that we need to start talking to one another and become friends with one another, and try to, I don't know, fight or be together. And we have the same problems. You have the same problems as I do. We all want to survive. We all want to get better and give a better life to ourselves and to our children. And we ultimately want the world to be a better place. So that's a way to start. We just need to stop fighting. We need to start becoming friends and start working together. Yeah, so that's what the song is about. I really enjoyed it. It was very good. Oh yeah, and so the analysis on the voice. So okay, so there was one of them was a tenor. I actually heard a lot of chest voice in his voice as well, and the other one was more like a baritone or even a bass, who was doing like the same notes but in an octave lower. And the other guy was singing a lot in his head voice and reaching very high notes, not super high notes like like a countertenor, like for example Michael Jackson, but more like a tenor, and that was very cool. They don't really sound like professional singers, like people who studied for many years in school to become great singers, but they sound very good and in tune and everything. And this, of course, is before auto tune. So they wrote the song in the 60s, so that was way before autotune. And of course in the 90s is still 1990, there's still no autotune, and this is a live performance. So yeah, excellent singers, loved it. Also did a reaction on the song The Sound of Silence, but by Disturbed. Man, those guys made a they just transformed the song and made it so good. So check it out. It should be in my channel. All right, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.